people, anybody watching this will see that you're the real brains of this operation, Cheryl.
Oh, don't let that out. Then there'll be expectations. No, it's like, heck no. No, no. You come up with stuff and then rattles around in my head of, hey, it can be this way too. So we
Yes.
combine
Yes, I
the
really
thing.
love that. I think the creative aspect really starts to take over then, so it's not just a trick or
Mhm.
it's not just, whatever. It makes it more original or a little bit more like
And we tailor it to ourselves.
yes, yes. Which one really should, I think.
Hmm.
You know. Did I
Yeah.
tell you I've started working on the second two-person telepathy
You
for Zoom
mentioned.
routine? Yeah. So I've got the intro, I've got a lot of stuff, but as you know, you've got a busy life, and so do I, in between us hanging out and doing our Zoom stuff as well. But in my head, it's well underway.
Oh,
And
cool.
yeah, I'm gonna actually, I don't always work backwards from the most recent trick that, did I say the T word again? The most
That's like the
recent trick.
third time.
Oh no. Oh no. I better
Edit
watch
that out.
myself.
Put the little things over your mouth with like the little
That's
asterisks.
right. Little smiley faces or whatever
Yes.
that block out what I'm saying. Um, or I hold a mug in front of my head like Svengoolie
Yes.
does.
Or
You
say it
know.
something in French. Dub it with French.
Yes, yes. And then only people in France will know.
Ooh. But you
Unless I
know
use my
French.
unless I use my Quebec French, in which case no one in
Yes,
France will
exactly.
know.
But
Ah.
do you speak it fluently? You do?
Well, I don't say I don't like to let people know that I do because then there's expectations.
Right.
So it's like
Yeah.
I know a couple of words. I know, it's like whatever. And when I have to use it, which unfortunately isn't very much anymore in BC, in this province where I'm living, I think there's maybe 20, I'm exaggerating, French people around. But even in Manitoba, there were hundreds, so I
Really?
had a whole French community I could and did my shows in. Here I had a small community as well of French people, and that was fun.
So
But
not many. Go
you
ahead.
know what's really weird? In various parts of Canada, and
Hmm.
I've only discovered this because I've lived in various parts of Canada, the French is different. It's not
Yes.
just we make fun of Quebec French, and
French Canadian.
really shouldn't, um, because maybe Uncle Mo is watching from somewhere. Anyway, it's different. It varies. It
Yeah.
really does. So when I started listening to the French here, it's like, oh, that's closer at least to more authentic French. It's not so
Right.
slangy. But and
That's it.
Manitoba as well. The French is nice, but I love the slangy Quebecois French, which they call joyal. I think it's Joyal, or it might have two L's and an E at the end. I don't remember anymore because they combine French with English,
Is
and
that the French
so
Canadian?
huh?
What's what? Because I hear like French Canadian. So what is that
It
exactly?
depends on where in Canada they're
Okay.
living,
Because people
right?
say, oh, French Canadian. Okay, so now I know. It's kind of like here. You've got the Carolinas, how they talk. You have the Kentucky, you have the West Virginia. Everybody has a different accent and different way of talking.
Yes,
Oh,
exactly.
and I knew that in Canada, it's more slangy from what I've heard. It was more slangy. It's not like the true, when you go over to France.
That's right. And apparently, I've never been to France yet.
I
Who
have.
knows?
It's
Maybe I will.
okay. You
But
don't need to
apparently,
go.
it's like don't speak Canadian French to them because they'll turn up their nose or
Yep.
something. So I
Yep.
don't know. I don't know if that's true. I don't want to find out because somewhere in the back, in the recesses of my mind, the school French that we learned, that we were taught from grade
Yes.
two on, was Parisian French, was proper French. So I could probably cull from that. But imagine my horror, Cheryl, when I'm out in the workforce, I'm done college, I'm working in an ad department somewhere in Montreal, and you kind of, there's huge areas of English speaking people in Montreal. It's not just because you
Yeah.
go to Montreal, it doesn't mean everyone speaks French and you're lost. No, there's about the same amount of English people, English speaking people in Montreal as there are in the whole population of Vancouver here, for example. But more French as well. In any case, imagine my horror when I'm proud, I'm speaking French, but it's school French. It's
Mm-hmm.
Parisian French, and they're going, quoi? Eh? Like that. It's like, oh, I better learn fast. What's going
Yep.
on? So,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. It's like Spanish in school. Now I had 3 years of it. Is difficult, but I remember more when I was out of school of how it all went than I did when I was in it. And our teacher was from Spain. And he's like, this isn't from Spain. So if whatever we're learning here and you use it in Spain is different. And the same
Yes.
word, say in Brazil, and the same a word you use in Brazil, that same word you use somewhere else in a Spanish speaking country, totally
Yes.
different meanings. He's like, yeah, you don't want to know what that is. It's like, oh, okay. Like,
Wild,
yes,
eh?
like,
It's
okay.
it's wild. And even within France, for example, which isn't a huge country apparently, the closer in France you are, say, to Spain or Italy,
Yep.
instead of we, they say si.
Oh,
You
wow.
know, I
I didn't
actually
know
have heard
this.
that. Yeah. So there's all this influence
Oh,
from,
wow.
from neighboring countries and stuff. So yeah,
I
lots
just
of
remember
fun.
we were
Lots of fun.
we went to France and Spain as a school trip. And I'm very, one track minded and this and that, and as I've been told many times by my mom and this and that, among other things. Went to the store and I bought stuff and came out and schoolmates had gone to the same store and they're like, "Oh, we got like this, free little sample perfume." And I'm like, "I didn't get that when I just bought stuff in there." So I marched back in
Oh,
there and
well,
I,
sure, of
"Hey."
course.
And I'm like, "Not to be rude, but I'm going to do that anywhere." It's like if
Oh,
you're
well,
giving
sure,
away
I would
stuff,
too.
man.
It's like, why wouldn't you?
I was just, I am very nice about it. I'm not one of these people who like march in and go rah, 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 rah. And I'm like, hey, so you gave them something, was I supposed to like, giving them the outs? Like, I don't want to think that you're rude or anything, but some of them were. But you get that everywhere. I have
Uh,
to say Spain, they were the nicest. They were overly nice.
oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
they were very
Huh.
nice there. It's like, oh,
Well,
but hey, come on in here. I'll buy you a drink. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm a minor. Thanks. I'm going to my hotel room. He didn't know, but they're
I like
friendly.
that openness, though. That openness I found growing up in Montreal and even into my early 20s, whatever that stage is called. It's like, if I was going out to old Montreal, which is the old city, which looks like and it is right out of the 1600s,
Oh, wow.
Europe. Oh, I love that. Oh my God. Now I'm starting to feel nostalgic or whatever,
Take
or
a trip.
sentimental. Sentimental would be perfect for a mentalist. In any case, yeah, you could just sit by yourself, have a beer, and the person next to you, man or woman, will chat you up. They'll start talking to you, and they're either poets or artists or whatever. And it's so
Wow.
fascinating. And they're bilingual. They're French. You could tell by their French accent,
Yeah.
but they can speak English really, really. So anyway, yeah, that was some of my adventures,
That's
my
me in
romantic
lines.
adventures, you know.
That's me in lines when I'm waiting in line and there's people in front of me or behind me. I'll just start chatting,
Yeah.
talking.
And
Makes three
why
hours go
not,
by
right?
quicker.
Why not?
Oh, yeah. You,
You
you kind
know?
of gauge who you can talk to.
Yeah, exactly.